Salutations and welcome to the farm. Well, our garden is growing every day. We have new blossoms, new fruits and vegetables showing up, and it's absolutely beautiful. With the growth in the garden comes pests. And we have been diligent in using neem oil, in using some detergent spray with just some dish soap to try to knock down some of the pests. But today, I think we're going to pull out some heavier guns here. We're going to bring in the borax, the sugar, and water, and we're going to make some DIY ant traps. Ants seem to be a growing problem in the garden. They're all over my tomatillo, which is now this tall, and I really need to get ahead of the problem. So I've been researching some videos on YouTube on what are some of the best approaches for making a borax solution to put into the garden to tackle that ant problem, and we're going to make some of those today. So what you're going to need for this project for your garden is just some empty water bottles with the lids, some white sugar, some borax, a funnel, some measuring spoons, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so let's get started. First, you want your water bottle. We're going to remove the lid. Move some of these out of the way here. And we've got a little funnel here. And your ratio for sugar to borax is 3 to 1. 3 teaspoons of sugar to 1 teaspoon of borax. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 teaspoons of sugar in. Now, since I'm making several of these and I don't want to dip my teaspoon into the sugar and then into the borax, I'm just going to add all of the borax first. The ants will be drawn to the sugar. That's what's going to attract them to these bottles. We all know that ants love sugar. The reason the ants get all over your plants is anytime that you have a predator that chews on the leaves of your plants, the plants will create something called honeydew. That is a sweet substance that attracts the ants, and they like to come in after a pest will gnaw and nibble all over your leaves, and they like to eat that honeydew. They like it so much that even when you have aphids that are in your garden, and they nibble on your leaves and they create that honeydew, ants will quite literally farm aphids. They will actually take the aphids up to the top of your branches so they can nibble on the leaves, and then the ants can come and eat the honeydew. So there's our sugar, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to add 1 teaspoon of borax into each bottle. You can get this borax at any store. Just check in the section of your store that has the laundry detergents. I didn't bother taking the labels off of my bottles. These are bottles of water that were just used last night at a family barbecue. So I am taking advantage of their availability now, but I didn't take the labels off. There we go. So we have 3 parts sugar, 1 part borax. Now let's add some water. It never fails whenever there's a barbecue, somebody starts the water and they don't finish it. So I'm taking advantage of that. And I'm just going to fill the bottles about 1/3 of the way full. Now I have an empty bottle to make another trap. You don't have to use filtered water. You don't have to use bottled water. This just happens to be left over. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to return the lid, give it a good shake. You want that sugar to dissolve with the borax. And next comes the tricky part. Making sure that your lid is on secure. We've got our kitchen scissors here, and I just want to cut a little notch into the top of the bottle here so that the ants can crawl in, get into the sugary substance, and not come back out. Just take the bottle here and pinch it So it creates a little peak. You're able to take your scissors and just cut into it here, cut into it here, and then just cut the top of that peak off. And you have the perfect little area for the ants to go in. And let the borax do the rest of the work. So let's go put this out in our garden, and then I'll finish up these other traps that we're going to make today. Now our goal here obviously is to get rid of the ants in a safe manner without using a bunch of pesticides. So make sure that you use caution to make sure that your animals, your pets, and of course small children cannot get to these bottles. You don't want them to mistake it for something to drink. You don't want them to pick it up and play with it. The sole purpose of this is to simply get rid of the ants. I'll be checking back to update you on how this is working to see if it helps with our ant problem. So stay tuned. We are going to be doing week 5 of our garden tour. I will put the link to that video here. Make sure you check it out. We've had a lot of growth here at the farm this week. So until we see each other again, take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a blessed day, and thank you for joining me here on the farm. I'm off to the garden.